Well, g'day tubes, how's she going? So it's been 7 years. I can't believe it's 7 years since we did our last run of our Stihl chainsaws. I can't believe it's been that long. Oh my goodness. And we got an oddball Johnny Deere that we've had here forever too. It's been 7 years since I've had gas in that too. Now I think it's dry. And this little guy here is dry. This guy is dry. The old 4.1 AV. This one is my kind of daily one, and this one's kind of like my go-to daily one too. And then of course my big MS 660 is kind of a once in a while kind of too. So we got 3 dry saws here. We're gonna do a cold start on, although it's been sitting in here where it's warm, but cold old start we'll say in a lot of these. And this poor Johnny Deere, he's had better days. It's a good saw actually. It did run really well, but I had it on the back of the backhoe there lots of years ago, and for some reason I don't know why it fell off, and I kind of sort of partially backed over it, and it kind of messed up there a little bit, and I kind of bent the handle a little bit. Other than that, it somehow survived. But it's been a long time since we've had some of these go, and I don't really think that this 041 is going to go too well. But over there we've got our MS 270, and this one's what's this one now? 15, I think. 015, yeah. And then of course our other little arborist, our 193T. It's a good little saw too. I like that one. Definitely interesting from, you know, the mid 70s maybe. I'll probably, when we're doing these, I'll put a little bit of a blurb. I've done it before on the last video we did of these old girls when we had them going, but I'll do a little blurb of, you know, some information on them on the screen so you can read it if you want. And hopefully I can get like production years kind of thing. But anyways, what should we start with first? Maybe start small. We'll go to this, maybe this little guy, little 1.5 first, and then we'll do the little arborist saw, and then what would be next? Our probably our 270 would be next, and then the farm boss, maybe the big 41 AV, and then we'll do the big 660 here, and then we'll do the Johnny Deere last. So this is an EV45, that one. It's a pretty good little saw. Why do I have so many saws? I don't know. Honestly, like, this one wasn't really mine. There's a little bit of story behind that one, the 4.1. My dad had one of them, and I had it out here when my wife's dad was running the cemetery here, and it disappeared. Don't know if someone stole it or what happened. So that's one I found on Facebook, I think, and the guy shipped it to me. And it's definitely not the same saw, but the other one was just mint. It was awesome. And yeah, it kind of depressed me a little bit, but anyway, so I had this one here at the cemetery that was actually my father-in-law's. Had it here, and yeah, it was good. Still is good saw. I wanted something a little bigger, so I got into the what is that one? 270, MS 270. Got that one, and it's great. Good saw, hyper saw. And then I'm like, you know what? Taking out this big thing all the time to cut little shrubs and stuff. I'm like, I talked them into getting me this little guy. So we got that, and then about 2 years later, my buddy that worked at the repair shop uptown here, the original Stihl dealer in town here, it's long gone now. He's like, oh, I got a little arbor saw here. Do you want it? I'm like, sure. So he brought it out to me. He's like, yeah, it runs real good. Nothing really wrong with it. Some guy just didn't want it. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. But the downfall of this thing is it's got a 1/4-inch pitched chain on it. It's kind of hard to find that around here, so I don't really use it too much other than just running it. And then I got some big trees I was doing in the back where this guy was about a bit too small, so I went myself and bought the big MS 660 here, so that's actually owned by me. So really there's only this saw here and that saw there that's actually owned by the cemetery. The rest are all my saws. So, but I look after, maintain them all, and yeah. So this is a 6 year, 7 year, whatever it is in the weights. Startup video just for the chainsaws today, and then later on I'm probably going to do weed whacker stuff and like the blowers I've got. leaf blowers and stuff. And I've got another weed whacker under here with the bicycle handle on it that I haven't had going for quite a while. But anyways, did a bit of cleaning in the shop here too. Kind of maybe doesn't look like it, but it's a little more organized, we'll say, a little bit. And then I got a bench back too, which is really nice. Somewhere to actually work. Got rid of a bunch of junk. I took a bunch of junk out we just didn't really need. And I got a little bit of space back. I got a couple of things here and there I got to move around yet. And this thing's finally going out today too, so I'll get that space back. He's coming to pick that up, so that'll be good. And anyways, we'll get a cold start, refill cold start, see if they'll run here. And yeah, we'll start with the little guys here first. All right, we'll start with our basically daily driver. This is the MS193T. I'm not 100% sure what the T stands for. Probably says somewhere. This one I think you could have a 14-inch bar. And this one I got a little 12-inch bar, which looks like it needs tightened up. But in storage, better have them loose than too tight, right? Good little saw because you can one-hand it a lot, right? And cutting off, like, you know, people that plant the big shrubs that don't come look after them. Like I prune them at the ground with this guy, you know. So pretty handy for limbing and stuff too. Use this a lot for when we're doing stuff for the sawmill stuff. Works good. Good little saw. The specs on this so are, I'm just going to read them out to you. 30 cc, 30.1 cc. So it's 1.84 cubic inch. It's roughly 1.74 brake horsepower. Weighs, power head weight, so just without the bar and stuff, it weighs 7.28 pounds. Yeah, that sounds about right. Fuel capacity is 9.1 ounces or 270 cc. Chain oil capacity is 7.4 ounces, so we've got those in here. 7.4 ounces or 220 cc. So, I don't know if there's any more info here. Guide bars, yeah, so we can have 14-inch maximum on this one. And it's a 3/8 PM. I'm not sure what PM means. Something. And yeah, Rollomatic 14-inch. So this one I got a 12-inch on because I got the same bar and chain that I use for my pole saw, which we'll look at that later, another video. But I got a special thing set up for you out here. We're actually going to go out and take these two, all these saws. Hopefully they all start to a log and give them a cut. I should probably tighten this guy up a bit though, a little bit. She's a little slack, so maybe I'll tighten it here. Okay, we'll just knock her up a little bit. Kind of like the saws that have like my electric saw. Probably not going to do that saw on the startup here because it's just electric and it's kind of boring. But that little thing that kind of auto adjusts, it's pretty neat. Anyways, let's go out and cut a log. Okay, we'll fire it up here. We got a good little cut for it here. So we'll set the throttle, and then this actually has another choke lever here. And give her a couple of pumps here. Make sure the brake's locked. Got really good compression. Good little saw. Not really meant for big cuts like that, but it smells so good. But she did it. Not too bad. All right, let's head in and grab the old girl, fill him up, see if he'll start. Okay, so the 015 from Stihl is 32 cc. It was produced for 10 years between 1973 and 83. Interesting. That's why I didn't get a date on the other ones. Some stuff I might have specs on, and some I probably won't. That other saw, the first one there's only about 5 or 6 years or 7 years old maybe. What else we got for specs on this guy? Top handle. The AV stands for anti-vibration, where this doesn't have any of that. The 041 I've got here is an anti-vibration saw, kind of when they first coming out with the rubbers and stuff. Limbing saw, top handle, electronic ignition, that's nice. What other specs we got here? Fuel ratio is supposed to be 25:1 in this thing. Wow. I'm running a little bit thinner than that, but it's better oil nowadays too. Cylinder type is aluminum with chrome-plated bore. Intake method is piston ported. Manufacturer horsepower is 1.8 at 8,500 RPM. Ooh, that's screaming. Weight is 8.1 pounds, so yeah, it's got a lot more mass to it. Die-cast magnesium, that's what all this stuff is. And they used to really make machines good. Air filter system is a felt pad. I think it's under here. I've actually never myself had that off. I don't even know if it's got one in it. Not too much, probably. Yeah, it's not a very good one. But she's not a daily driver now, so I'll just drive on with it. Might be better to put it this way, wouldn't it? Yeah. Like I say, I haven't had this one going for, since our last video, and apparently that was 2016. I can hardly believe that, but man, time sure flies, don't it? Oh, yay. Okay, what else we got for specs? Starter type is still automatic rewind. Yeah, it's the recoil. Oil pump is automatic on this. Maximum engine RPM is 12,500. Idle RPM is 28. Breaker point's got no breakers in it. It's not that old. Crankshaft main bearing is cage needle roller. That's good. Fuel ratio is supposed to be 25:1. Back then, it didn't really have very good oil, I guess, but. And that's about all I got on here. Anyways, 015L. Let's see now. Not really much of a cap on it. I'll just put a little bit in here to see if it'll go. That's what I have a tank already. They don't hold much, but they don't really use much either, right? And we're not going to be running it or cutting really much with it, but you should see it's still got oil in it. Yeah, there's still some in there. Okay, let's take out this one and see if it'll even start. Okay, remember this thing used to be quite smoky. See, that still is, so this one's pretty basic. This is the one that came all the way from Florida, Tampa, Florida, where it was sold. And this little stop switch, I kind of think there's something going on with this stop switch. It doesn't seem to really work. And then of course we got a choke right here, so we got to put choke down. I bet you it'll go one pull. Start on, no chain brake on this though. Be careful this one. Oh. That's going good. That's good. I really think I needed a good sharpen though. It struggled pretty good to get through that, but I think the blade chain might need the sharpening. Yeah, a couple of them aren't too great, but anyways, there we go. Okay, now we're getting into something a little bigger. So this is 50cc. This is the MS270. Number of cylinders is of course 1. It's just over 3 cubic inch. Piston ring thickness, I don't know. The weight is 3.4 brake horsepower. Power hit only is 11.7 pounds. So without the bar and the chain, it's pretty heavy. A lot more plastic and crap on these though, but anyways. Fuel ratio. Let me lower more items here. 2007 is when they introduced this one. Yeah, 50cc. 11.7 pounds. Electronic ignition. Walbro HD 26 carburetor on it. Cellulose fiber element for the air filter. And idle RPM is 2800. Ignition timing is fixed. Crankshaft main bearing is ball. That's good, ball bearings. Fuel tank capacity is 520 milliliters, whatever that is. In your measurement, 50-to-1 mixture. Takes a 325 and an optional 3/8 inch chain, pitch chain. Shortest guide bar is a 16 inch and the longest is a 20. I think that's a 20 I got on here. And this thing rips, man. Holy smoke! It's almost scary. But looks like we need to tighten that chain a bit too. But maybe we should. Maybe we should. No, I don't have my guy up here. Nope, so I'll have to use way bigger. Is that a 19 on them? Yeah. Chains do stretch, so not much you can do about it. But. These things, they engineered them to really rev up hard, so it really burns that gas up while you're running it. So these things scream. Same with that 660. Man, when we get to that one, I want to be hanging on to her, that's for sure. It won't take long getting through that log. But anyways, let me throw some dust off me here. We'll head out and fire this guy up. And yes, I know my guide bar is upside down. That's okay. We got oh, there's enough gas in there. The MS270. Okay, same with this. It's all done back here. Done. Make sure your brakes locked on. It has a decompression, but that's for decompressing. Take the brake off and then just bring this guy up 1 notch, and it'll still run fast, but it takes the choke off. Man, that thing spins. Oh, I love it. It's awesome. Okay, the old 041 AV Farm Boss. This was a brute in its day. 61 cc, 3.72 cubic inch. Cylinder bore is inch and 3/4, so it's pretty big. Inch and 3/4 right to there from the end of the tape, so that's a fairly meaty piston in there. Advertised horsepower is 5.5 horse. Weight is 16 pounds. I don't think that's right. Oh, it's way heavier than 16 pounds. 16 pounds with a 13-inch bar and chain. Handlebar system's anti-vibration, mechanical chain brake. This doesn't have a chain brake on it though. Interesting. Don't know what year manufacture. Doesn't tell me here. Like I say, there's some information they got, some they don't. Construction is die-cast magnesium again. And Tillotson carburetors on these, and they had a whole whack of different ones. HS29A, B, C, D, HS77A, B, C. So it's hard to say which one you got. Nylon mesh element air filter. Got a recoil, of course, on it. 40:1 with the Stihl oil. Mixture ratio. 3/8 inch chain on it. And this is, I think, a 72. Now, that's a pretty loose chain on there, too, but I think it'll be alright. And doesn't really give me anything else. Doesn't give me year of manufacture. Let's see if we can just find that. Years made, that'll work. 1967 to 1986. Now which one this is, I don't know. But this hasn't ran, as you can see, for a while. It's sat up on my shelf. And I'm not 100% honest if it's going to go or not. We're going to give her a shot here. The fuel lines might be hard as a rock. Should be enough. It's in the line there. It's in the filter now. So. And I might have to give this a little shot of some love to get it started. We'll see if it'll go, but if it doesn't, we'll give her a little shot of goodness. Chokes down. Yeah, it's choked on there. Okay. It might need some lines done on this thing. I'm kind of thinking. Might end up breaking the recoil rope too. Who knows? But let's take her outside and give her a snap. See what happens. All right, this little girl. I can't remember which way is on. I'll try that though here. Smokes. Seems like it's really hard to pull over. That's not a good thing. But maybe just give her a little bit of love here, because I'm not 100% sure which way the... Like I say, this isn't my original saw. I don't really know the history of this one. I don't want to use too much of this crap in this. Give her one more shot. See if it'll go. She might need some going over, boys. She might need some going over. Well, I'm going to try one other thing here. And we'll just dribble a bit of gas down it. She might need it going over. Maybe this will help. We'll just dribble a little bit of this in here. Probably more than enough. Oh, that's probably lots. Should be flooded like you wouldn't believe now. Now let's see if she'll fire off on that. Or catch fire. Oh, she's gonna need going over, I think. She's not drawing fuel. Let me just give it another little drink in there. Too bad. Might have flooded her now. That's good. The switch isn't working, so it would have worked either way. I think that's needing to going over though. I think it's got some probably needs a impulse line put on it or whatever. But anyways, as she ran, just took a bit. All right, the gigantic MS660. Ooh, this is a big saw. They're still listing it on their website because they still sell this one. Let me find some specs here though. So it's 7.4 kilograms, whatever that works out to in pounds. There we go. So it's 91.6 cc, this one, pretty big. 5.6 cubic inch. Cylinder bore is 54 millimeters. Aluminum with chrome plated bore. Advertised horsepower is 7 brake horsepower. Weight is 16.5 pounds. Power head only. Clutch and electronic ignition. It's got a Walbro WJ667 on it. It's got an air filter, of course, on it. Probably should look at that. And it just says filter element. Bosch spark plug. Fuel tank capacity is 27.9, so we'll say 28 ounces. 50-to-1 ratio again. And 3/8 pitch chain, and I think this longest guide bar is 36 inches, and I think this is the, well, not 36, it might be the 24. Yeah, 24 inch. So you can go another bit yet, but that's big saw, big chain, big bar. All right, and this one is awesome. And I think it was kind of getting due for a sharpen too, but it should still cut for today. Oh, it's got a bit of dust in it. It's got like an automotive-y style filter. Should probably clean some of that out, but I haven't really got any air charged up now, so I just banged it out. It's got this other filter here too for the incoming. Spark plug's kind of buried. It's in behind the baffle here, but I've never had it out. And let me tell you, hang on to this. So it still makes one bigger than this, the 880, and it's like ridiculous. Very expensive too, but that's for like massive trees. I don't want to take a tree down that's that big. I'll let someone else do that. I don't get too old for that, but a big 660, let's go fire it up. And this is a big bugger. I'm gonna get you back for this one bit. Big feller. All right, same as the other one. Same choke and throttle and everything. Make sure the things there, you should probably, I'll use the decompression on this. All right, just brought it up one. Tell you, this side ain't no screwing around. I'm just surprised they sold it to me. It's pretty wicked. All right, last on our trip. It's not a Stihl product, but it's still in the chainsaw sort of fleet. It's been retired, of course, but let's look up John Deere EV V45. 45 EV. 45 EV specs. Okay. So, doesn't really have much on this. It's 40 cc. Doesn't really have much. A 325 pitch chain on it. You can get it in a 12 or a 16. Somebody's got to have more specs than that. I don't want parts lookup. Nope, that's all we got. It says 40 to 1 on the cap. Weighs probably 12 odd pounds. I'll put a bit of fuel in it. Like I say, it's dry. Like there's nothing in them. I don't know if it's going to go at all, but we'll give them a shot. See what happens. I'll show you the air filter in this one. And you got spider webs all over them. Holy smokes, eh? It was a good little saw until it fell off the tractor. I ran over it, backed over it. It looks like a Walbro carburetor in there. It's definitely got some hard lines. It's got an impulse line and then the main fuel line there. We'll see if it's still functioning. It's got an adjustable, should have showed you before I screwed that cap on. It's got an adjustable screw in there for your oiler, for your chain, so that's kind of neat. All right, so this has got a little pull-out choke, lock on here, and that's should be your go button. I'll take her outside and see if she'll fire. Okay, so like I was saying, this one got a little messed up with the getting run over there, so sometimes the
recoil skips a bit, but we'll see for being dry for so long if it'll pump fuel still. Oh, see? Wow, no way. You gotta be kidding me. Looks like it was ran yesterday. Not too bad, you know, it still ran really good. Fired right up, can't believe it. The old 41 or 45 EV. Nice.
Well, that's good to see them all start and run, except that one was a little bit of a pig. Might do a little bit of work on him maybe and see what's going on. And boy, I was quite surprised with that John Deere. That was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Just fired right up. And this old girl here fired right up. Of course, the other ones are all newer and fresher, so there should be good. And I got that guy over there too. It's not really a chainsaw, so I don't know if we'll bother with that, but you guys seen that not too long ago. But we should give it a little buzz maybe, why not? I'm not going to probably cut wood with it, but we'll maybe try smoke some wood.
Okay, so the TS410 66.7 cc was my performance is 3.2 kilowatts, so I don't know what that is. It's kind of a weird measurement that is. I'm not used to that. 3.2 kW horsepower. It's 4.291 horsepower, they say. Weight is 20.9 pounds. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. 12-inch cutting wheel. Well, that's about all they give me on specs. But yeah, it's been a while since the floor cut. Let's go see if she'll still start up. Okay, it'd be nice to start this normally. So lock the handle and flip choke here. This one doesn't have a decompression, which is kind of weird. Doesn't cut wood too well, but that's a cool noise. Let's get that again. Oh, going so fast. Cutting air. That's awesome. You gotta wonder how that blade would even cut anything. But it cut my whole floor here, so that's great. Well, that's it for the two-stroke gas anyways. Like, I got my little electric one up there, but I won't bother you with that one because it's just boring. It's kind of boring. It works. It looks really good, actually, but me, myself, I'm still in the gas-powered stuff. That's still, I think, prime. But anyways, that's it for saws. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 saws? Yeah. From the little wee guy right up to the big daddy, the big 660. That Farm Boss isn't too far off, but it's not quite as big as that 660. That thing's pretty amazing. Holy smokes. But anyways, we'll do a separate video for like weed whackers and leaf blowers and stuff. I've got the split shaft with all the different attachments. We got a couple of weed whackers that we're still currently using. We'll bring and do that. And then we got the one under the bench here. It's got the 4MX engine on it too. They're good engines. It's been a long time since I started that one too. What else do we got? We even got one. Oh, we got this one hanging here. Should probably give him a little run. FS94 is still brand new. Never used it. Never hit a blade of grass. It's hanging up there in the corner under the heater. And then we got one of the old two-stroke ones that we're going to see if we can get it going. And if it will, if it will fire right up, maybe. I don't know. I retired it for some reason. I can't remember why now. They just get wore out. They get tired. A lot of hours on them, and they just don't start too well when they get hot. I think that's what it was. After you run it for a while, it runs great, and then you got to refuel, it won't restart. So that's generally usually not enough compression, so the rings are probably wore out. But hard to say. Anyways, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that video. I say it's been about 7 years since we did it, 2016 or so. I can't believe where that time went. But it went somewhere anyways. I guess I was part of it, but I sure don't remember much of it. But looks good. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I'm running all my stuff here at like a... They say 50 to 1. I probably run it at about a 45 to 1. I like to put a little bit extra oil in. It's not going to hurt anything. If you put too much in, yes it will. But a little bit extra is not going to really hurt anything. So I run it a little bit thicker. That's why we got a little bit of blue smoke when we started. But amazing the difference though between the old girls here. And a little bit of blue smoke out of the old newer one. But this one really blows some smoke until she warms up. That's the way the saws used to be. And honestly, I guess it's the way they're ported maybe. I don't know. You wouldn't think that would have changed much over the years, but good old saws. Can't believe that John Deere started though. Holy smokes! But yeah, that 0-for-1 will maybe get it tore down and have a look and see if there's something going on in the carburetor now, because it was not going to start. Really hard to pull too, which is potentially not a good thing. We'll maybe take the muffler off and look in the port and see if it's got some scoring or something. Seemed to run good once it was. It wasn't running to its full throttle potential though. I think it probably needs the diaphragms put in it and the carburetor gone through. I'll see if I can still get a kit for it. Maybe we'll rebuild it, and then probably won't put gas back in her. Then I'll just leave her, and then next time we start it, it'll be good to go. So, but leave her dry, you know, and then like new factory kind of thing, like they would have come from factory, you know, and nice and clean and dry, and then the dealer puts the fuel in it and then runs it for the first time, kind of thing, right? But anyways, there we go. Thanks again. Catch you all later, and you guys have a good one. Happy sawing. I think I got enough for everybody here.